This video is sponsored by Bityard. With over 400 cryptos to trade on their spot, perpetual coin futures, USDT futures, with leverage of 1x to up to 125x, you can trade foreign exchange, commodities like gold, silver and oil, and traditional markets like Nasdaq, all with some of the lowest fees available on any trading platform. You can use their copy trader to copy other traders with better performance than you, or you can become a copy trader yourself and earn a few extra percent from the people that follow you. Plus, you got 9 out of 10 stars from the Coin Bureau guy. Bityard. Hello everybody, welcome back. So we have a quick look at JASMY. There's no need to beat around the bush. There's a couple of these trades that are looking very similar actually, ICP being one of them. So a giant consolidation came to an end, we came into a period of accumulation. You could have measured a second consolidation taking place. We've come out of that into a period of accumulation. All of this could just be a load of nonsense because it's all just going to follow the market. Being traditional markets, was obviously Bitcoin involved with all of that. So whether JASMY can break the mold, very unlikely, and we're hoping that Bitcoin and traditional markets do continue to move up. However, that remains to be seen. We've got traditional markets at the moment more or less at a resistance, I have to say, and everyone's sitting around waiting for the CPI report. So is inflation higher or lower, or is it exactly the same? Who knows? But let's have a look at the chart anyway, and we'll see if we can digest some of this information. So there was your golden cross formed, retested, and then now we're sort of like struggling to stay above that 200 exponential really, which is very important if you want to maintain a golden cross on exponentials. This is your simple moving average. Obviously, some people like to play simples. I prefer exponentials. They seem more relevant for crypto, as it is a bit more of a volatile charts, right? So yeah, it worked what you would expect to see. So we had our golden cross and we got to dump down into it. Now it's a bit messy, and the market effectively is a bit messy as well. So whether this cancels this little bit out, we'll have to wait and see. If we continue to close below 1.4 cent, then I would expect to see a breakdown back down to our lows eventually, to be honest with you. But for the moment, we're trying our hardest to get above there, and it does. I have to say, it will require a static market, I think, for Bitcoin and traditional markets, or obviously an uptrending market. We'll have to see all of that. On the 12-hourly, we are getting support on your 50 exponential, your 21 exponential, so that's all quite good. And this is, there's no signals particularly in this area for this time frame, as there's no signals on the daily. We do see slowing momentum, but it matches the price, so I'm not really concerned about that, to be honest with you. And yeah, that's pretty much all we got going for it on its tether pair. On its Bitcoin pair, definitely a bit more interesting. So on the 12-hourly, what we got here is a continuation of a trend signal formed over here ever so slightly. It's not perfect, but it is what it is, and it's technically still in play. So we'd look to see if this has the power to continue, and if it does, we would expect a trend to continue from where it formed. And it would be cancelled out if our blue crosses the red, or the Chiku span, this little wiggly line, crosses the price action. So it's a bit on thin ice. We've got a couple of days to go really before the Chiku span is anywhere near to these sats. Obviously, going back into the 40s over this next couple of days would cancel it out. We do want to see this trend continue, and I'll be targeting areas of safety above 55 sats, and with the target of maybe only about 65 sats to start with, just to see where it goes, and incrementally continue to make higher highs and higher lows on its sats. Sats seem to be the best way to look at all of these charts, to be honest with you. Tether pairs, they are showing some signs of life, but sats seem to be the best way to look at them. Because if you think about what we're actually seeing here, where would you rather have your money, JASMY or Bitcoin? If you had to choose, and you choose the one with an uptrend on its sats, basically. So yeah, at the moment, yeah, there's nothing here on the daily as far as pumping signals are concerned. If we start to close above 55 sats, which is that hallmark on the 12-hourly that we're talking about, then yeah, we probably get a pump signal, and the pump signal is going to take us into the 60s, maybe the upper 70s. But for the moment, we don't have that. We've just got a very small continuation of a trend. That's what we're expecting to see anyway. We just want to see it pick up a little bit of pace now. There's no real momentum building, I would say, on this one. If anything, it's just kind of like dwindling. We still have a bit of bearish divergence on the money flow index, and we don't really have it on the RSI. But the MACD is not very convincing, I have to say. So it's a slow burn, and it does require traditional markets and Bitcoin as well to behave itself over these next few days, which is obviously a lot to ask in this environment. But the chart is what it is, and if I had to trade this chart, I would be optimistic about how it looks and how it should perform. It's just with the everything else that's going on that would cancel this out. If we were flat off in a bull market, to be honest with you, this is the sort of setup that you'd look for and you would trust, with a lot more certainty on it. But because we're not particularly bullish across all markets at all, to be honest with you, you have to take all of these things with a pinch of salt. Trading altcoins is a risky business at the best of times, and you can have the best setup in the world and it'll just be cancelled out by a dump by Big Daddy Bitcoin, which controls the market. And at the moment, Big Daddy Bitcoin is no big daddy at all. In fact, it's like a little retarded brother to traditional markets, really not able to even... It's been underperforming some of the stocks within the Nasdaq, which is why I was saying on this everything bounce, I'm not buying any more crypto in any of that. It's all about the stocks and the major indexes that I was playing. And they, you look back, if we were to look back at my entry points like 4 weeks ago and look at some of the things within that, they've outperformed Bitcoin, and these are just boring old stocks. So, there's ways to trade this particular type of market. It can be done. We are doing it. It has been consistent. It's been a good 5 weeks on Bitcoin, altcoins, and traditional markets if you're able to pay attention. But at this very moment in time, this could be where things start to roll over once again. But we'll just wait and see. There's CPI data coming out this week, I believe. Maybe even tomorrow. I'll have to double check, but it is coming out. Basically, in a nutshell, if inflation shows that we peaked last month, even by a little bit, we might continue with this drib-drab move, continuation up across the board. If there's a significant peak, then yeah, confidence should resume and we could go up to all these next levels. If for whatever reason it's got worse, inflation has got worse, we'll all be going down and we'll be meeting all these lower zones that we've been marking off on Bitcoin, and I think with the nature of the Bitcoin dominance chart looking relatively sketchy as far as continuation for the majority of altcoins, it wouldn't surprise me if they lose their heads and just go completely down, by another 50-60% or so. It's a tough business out there. It's a rough trading environment, but it can be done, and we have been doing it. But at this moment, we are on thin ice. But these are indicators, these are charts, these are setups. We have to try and use them to the best of our ability. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.